Hey guys, I'm here and today I am filming in this kind of strange place because I am filming my updated K-pop album collection video for the second half of 2016. So I filmed this over the summer because I didn't have access to all of my albums and you guys really liked it. So I thought that I would do another one for the second half of the year and then I will do full collection updates when I get home. So I'm sitting in here because when I did it over the summer, there was not that much room to film where I was, but I just kind of like made it work. But the way that this room is set up, I don't have the same space as I did then, and I probably have about the same amount of albums that I did then. It also is going to take me a little bit to get all these albums home, so I started taking them home over Thanksgiving. I kind of looked through what I thought were going to be my favorites for the year, or if I had multiple versions of something, and I started taking those home. So I am going to say some things that I don't currently have with me, but yeah, so hopefully you understand that. This also doesn't include signed albums. I don't think I got any signed albums in the second half of the year. I don't know if I got a couple signed albums in the second half of the year, but this isn't including my signed albums because I'm doing my own collection video for those. Yeah, we're gonna go in alphabetical order and I will let you know if there's something else that I have that is not with me right now. Okay, so the first thing I got is Apink's newest album, their third full-length album, Pink Revolution, and this is the front of it with the Bami and Unji cover, and they did release a special album the other day, but I'm not going to be buying it for a while. I also, in the second half of the year, got 6 Apink singles, which I have taken all the CD plates for those home. And for BAP, I do have their... Maybe I should just go get it. I'm just gonna go get whatever signed albums I got in the second half. So I only got 2 signed albums in the second half of the year, which is pretty sad, and I should really buy more signed albums next year because I love them. But I did get BAP's 5th single, Put 'Em Up. This is signed by all of the members. I bought this from the all K-pop shop. I also got BAP's second full-length album, Noir. I have the normal edition here, and I also have Jungkook's version because he's my bias. And very quality album. I really like this album. I Guess I Need You and Killer, and all of them are good songs, but those are my favorites. And hopefully by the time you see this video, I will have uploaded at least most of the unboxings that I've done, but I will at least have my Secret Santa up because this has spoilers for my Secret Santa in it. So the next thing that I got was Boyfriend's 4th mini album. This was part of my Secret Santa present from Onumania, which was super generous of her, and I'm really excited about it. And it's super gorgeous. I love it so much. It's just like a really pretty photo book, and the whole concept of this, and also Bounce is one of my favorite title tracks from them, so I'm so happy to have this. And then of course I got BTS's second full-length album, Wings. This is the W version. I do have the G version as well, but I took it home earlier because I figured if I was going to talk about BTS's album on my favorite albums of 2016 video this year, then I could just hold up this and do that. So I do have the G version. I want to get I and N in, I don't know, next year maybe, but I'm not really sure when I'm going to do that because I have other things to do for that. And I also got a couple of BTOB albums this year. So BTOB's Tweet Tweet Bang Bang. This is also part of my Secret Santa present from Onumania, and it's my favorite song from them, and I'm pretty sure this means that I'm done with BTOB. Besides their Remember That mini album, which is their 8th mini album, which I'm not the biggest fan of, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to end up getting it or not. I do have all of the BTOB releases in Korea, which is the goal for me. So I'm really happy to have this. This is my favorite mini album from them, but they also released this mini album this year, their 9th mini album called New Men, which is really good, and I never thought that I would be able to find another... Look, there you guys are. I never thought that I'd be able to find another BTOB album that I loved as much as Tweet Tweet Bang Bang, but this is starting to prove me wrong. And Move. Move is a really good album too. Yeah, this one is really good, except the packaging for this is terrible because if you stack things on top of it, it will start to dent like that. Also very susceptible to fingerprints. I don't even like touch that album that often, and there we go. I never know where to put this group, but I did get TVXQ's Rise as God. Dongbang Shingi is the way that I like think of them when I think about 5 of them. I think I do this with Jeju's album too, but Rise as God by TVXQ. This is the black version, this is Yuno's version, and I finally got this album after like a year. Silly, I should have gotten it way sooner than this, but you know, that's just kind of how it happened. So I got this, it's super amazing. I should have talked about it last year when it like actually came out, but I really enjoyed the photo book for this, and I'm really happy to have this in my collection finally because I've been wanting it forever. I got a package from my friend Brandon, who's super awesome and super generous, and he gave me some albums. One of them is an N Flying album, which I don't have because I took it home already, but because I had unboxed it, so it's at home. But he did give me 4 other albums. So there's FX's Electric Shock album. This is their second mini album. So I have Electric Shock. I also have the whatever less rare version of this is. Red Light, so I have Red Light too, and this is the one with Crystal's entire body on it. I think it's the Sleepy Cat version. I think that's what this one is. And then I have New AVO, which is one of the first FX releases I ever heard, because I've basically known FX since they like debuted. So yeah, that's really cool that I have this one. And I have one of my favorite SM full-length albums besides Super Junior ever, and that's FX's Pink Tape. This is a awesome album, and I'm so happy to have this, and I just like am in love with literally every single song on it. And I haven't unboxed it yet, but I did listen to the songs, and I have heard the songs before, but I had already had like 4 or 5 of these songs downloaded before I even owned this, so this is amazing that I now own this. The last album in my Secret Santa package was Gfriend's first mini album, Season of Glass, and they look so little in this, and it's so funny to see how little they look, because I feel like they literally just debuted. But looking back on this, when I was unboxing this, I was just like, oh my gosh, they're so little. Like, how did they grew up so fast, like right before our eyes, literally. And then symbolizing that, I got Gfriend's first full-length album, Laughing Out Loud. I actually, like, until a couple months ago, or until like a month ago, had forgotten about this album, and I started listening to it again, and I fell in love with it again, as I did over the summer. Once Infinite happened, everything before Infinite I kind of forgot about for a little while, so that's why I'm like this. But yeah, I'm so happy that I have this album, and I didn't end up getting the other version, and I don't think that I will end up getting the other version, but that's okay. It was also just the year of second full-length albums from literally everyone, so I have Got7's second full-length album. This is Flight Log Turbulence, and this makes me feel weird because Flight Log Departure is a mini album and Turbulence is a full-length album, but it's okay because it's a very good full-length album. And just because we're talking about versions, I got the group version, which is the best ever, and I couldn't have asked for anything else, like, at all. Not even Young J's version. I'm just very happy that I have this version. I was listening to this album a couple days ago actually, and Mayday and Who's That and No Jam and Skyway I think are my favorite songs on this. And then one of my favorite debuts period this year, Gugudan's first mini album, The Little Mermaid. I do want to get some of IOI's stuff because I liked IOI from this year too. I'll probably get their newest release and then the subunit release, but I didn't really like their first album that much at all, so I won't be getting that. But I'm going to be buying Pledis Girls stuff, and I'm going to be supporting Gugudan, and I'm probably going to end up supporting whatever Fentagio, whatever you say that company's name. They're girls like Yeonjung and Doyeon and them, whatever they end up putting out. But yeah, this is awesome. This is an amazing mini album. I think it's very overlooked from this year, and I just am completely in love with it, and I can't wait to see what they do next year. So excited to watch them grow because they're already super amazing. Like, yeah. My Infinite stack, because Infinite did things in the second half of the year. But the first thing that I bought from Infinite in the second half of the year was the Origin, which is something that I've really been wanting to buy from them, and it's the last Korean collection CD thing that I needed from them, and just when it came out it was just kind of unreasonably expensive and whatnot, but I'm so happy to have this. I feel like my Infinite collection would not be complete without this in my life. So yeah. This year they released their best of in Japan, so this is not the third full-length Japanese album, but it's the third full-length Japanese thing they've released. So yeah, and I have the CD DVD and the CD DVD and the first press CD only version. They do have a second press CD only version. I'm probably gonna end up getting it at some point. And then they have a Blu-ray version of this, which I don't own because I just have begun to think maybe I shouldn't count Blu-ray things as parts of collections because I just never want to buy them. It had a new song DNA on it, which I love. DNA, the line distribution of that is amazing, and it's Infinite, so of course it's amazing. And then they released a Japanese version of Paradise, but this has all of the Japanese versions of literally everything, and like, can you see this track list? I'm just gonna show you. This is the CD DVD version, obviously. But like, that's a long track list. It's pretty beautiful to have that. I got a Be My Japanese single in the second half that I haven't taken home yet because I just got it today. And this is Sungyeol's version of Sungyeol's random card in the Colourpop version. So I'm only missing Wheein now. Wheein's solid version and the normal version, which I saved the normal version for last because I knew it would be really easy and I know exactly where I'm gonna get it from. So now for the things that they released in Korea in the second half of the year. I have the normal edition too, but I did bring it home because I figured if I was gonna talk about this album in my top, I've said this a couple times before, you know what I mean. It's the limited edition, so I kept the limited edition here. Packaging wise, this limited edition actually is not my favorite thing in the entire world. I really don't like it that much. It's pretty, but it's just kind of disappointing from the unboxing. But this album is far from disappointing. This album, I couldn't care, like, I don't really care about what it's packaged in because the album itself is flawless and the photo book itself is flawless, and I love it. And I'm so happy that Infinite had a full group come back this year like they do every single year, but every single year I'm just like so thankful that they release another album together because it's always perfect, it's always amazing. This was the only other like Korean real release this year besides Wheein's solo album and this guy. Also, I just want to show you this. So Infinite also released their second world tour. This is a 2 CD, 2 DVD thing of absolute Infinite glory, which is amazing. But Infinite was very into glitter this year. Can you see how glittery this is? Yeah, you can. This is very glittery. They were very into glitter in the second half of this year. I don't really know why. Probably because Lovelyz hadn't had to come back in a while and they were like, what are we gonna do with all this glitter? So that's all the Infinite stuff. But I actually still have not watched the DVD from this. I have been listening to the CDs. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and watch the DVDs, honestly. So I'm gonna do that at home probably, but amazing. And it comes with English, Korean, Japanese, and is there another thing? And Chinese subtitles. So I'm excited to watch all of this and see all the solo stages and everything, and it makes me really happy that the CD and the DVD was together because I only had to buy one thing, even if it was a little more expensive. The second signed album that I got in the second half of the year was Madtown's third mini album, Emotion. I'm pretty sure that I showed the non-signed version when I did my first half of the year video, but yeah, so I do have it all signed by all of the members, and yeah, I'm really happy to have that because I said in like one of my videos that it wasn't my favorite mini album, and that was a complete lie because once I started listening to it, I just was obsessed with it and I love it and I love the direction they're going, and yeah, it's really good. Monsta X released the second part of the Clan, which I'm gonna be so sad when the Clan ends because I just love this whole era for Monsta X so much. I just love Monsta X so much, but this whole era from them has been incredible. And I do have both versions of this, but I did take one of them home because, yeah, love this so far. I love every single song on the first half of the Clan, which I talked about in the first half video, and this is just as amazing. Really, really nice mini album. They just keep releasing such amazing, amazing stuff. And then, because everybody freaked out when I talked about 9 Muses first last time, because I do numbers at the beginning, and I guess everybody writes it out as N-I-N-E Muses, when I've always done it as 9 Muses. So here is 9 Muses A Muse, Muse's Diary, which came out over the summer, and this is really good. It was good to see 9 Muses doing something. They just are not, there's a lot of members leaving from 9 Muses. I'm not really sure what's going to happen to them next year, but I am so happy to at least own a few albums from them, and I'll probably buy a couple of albums from them next year because they're amazing. I love them. And then NU'EST got a second comeback in the second half of the year. I talked about their first comeback in my other video, but they released Canvas in the second half of the year, and Canvas is really good. I don't exactly like it as much as the Overcome album, but it's still a really, really solid album, and I'm so happy that they got another comeback. It's a really interesting feel of an album, and I think it really like separates them from 17, you know what I mean? Because I feel like people like to compare 17 to them sometimes. Some people don't know about them. Most people don't know about NU'EST, but they're in the same company as 17, and they deserve just as much love as 17, even though I love both groups very, very much. My Girl released a lot of things this year. So I have the repack of their third mini album. So this is the song that has the album that has Windy Day on it and Liar Liar. And I also bought their summer special, but I already brought it home, so that's where that is. And then Pentagon released their first 2 albums this year. They released both of them in the second half of the year within like a month of each other. I am completely in love with both these. I just got this one today actually, and I love it so much, and I haven't even like downloaded it yet, but I've heard it before I bought it. And I'm completely in love with Pentagon. They were a group that I fell in love with at the beginning of the summer, and then towards the end of the summer nobody really knew if they were actually going to end up debuting this year, and then they did debut and released 2 perfect albums, and nobody knew how many members they were going to debut with, and like nothing. Nobody knew anything about them, and then they released these 2 perfect mini albums that I love so, so much, and I can't even imagine 2016 without Pentagon. Like at this point, like they were just amazing. Definitely one of my favorite male rookies of this year. So 17, when I did my first half of the year video, I was talking about this in it, and I was like, oh, I don't have this yet, but it will be the first thing in the second half of the year that I unbox. And here it is. It's glorious. I actually have not looked in this in a while, so we're gonna have a little fun with it. But I've seen parts of the concert DVD from this. I started watching it and then I had to leave, and I never ended up finishing it. But there's a beautiful concert photo book in this, which is amazing, and this entire album is amazing. This is like the album, like the thing. And then you pull it out and you open it up, and there is the most adorable picture of S.Coups in the entire world, because I got his random photo thing and he's my bias, so I was so excited about that. I'm really excited to finish this DVD over the break as well. I don't really watch TV. I don't really do like any of that during this semester, really any other free time that I have besides like school and like extracurriculars I use for YouTube, so that doesn't leave me any time to watch anything. They came out with their third mini album, so Going 17. This is the Make It Happen version, and this is the Make It 17 version, and there's also a third version, but I do not own it because I didn't want to fall into Pledis's tricks and buy all the versions, but I think I'm going to end up doing it anyways because this album is amazing. This is my favorite mini album from 17 so far. Their full-length album is really, really good. That's why I'm not like, and the repack is basically a mini plus a full-length, which is always one of my favorite things. But this came with a lot of fun random stuff, and I just got it today actually, so I've listened through it, and I'm in love with it. I just haven't like had it on my phone to listen through it, you know what I mean? So I'm still waiting to do that. Now we get to move on to SHINee. So SHINee, I only have 2 things from this year, or the second half of the year, because Junghyun and Taemin released things at the beginning of the year, and then they had like a little break, and then they released One of One, which I like the album as an album, but I wasn't really the biggest fan of the title track chosen for this album. I know like quite a few people were, and I'm one of the few people who wasn't. But then they released this beautiful thing. This is the repack. This is One and One, sorry. And this is absolutely incredible. This makes up for everything that I didn't like in this. It's just SHINee has once again proved me wrong. They're really, really good at me being like, oh, well, you know, I kind of wish it had been more like this. And then they're like, okay, here you go. So I really appreciate that, SHINee. Keep doing that. So I got a lot of like new Super Junior things actually in the second half of 2016. So the first thing, which I'm counting in this, was M&D's mini album. Actually, this wasn't the first thing, but we're just gonna pretend that it actually was the first thing because the first two things were very close together. But M&D released their second mini album, and I'm so glad that SM just like counts them as a real thing. It's actually like the best thing in the entire world. And this is a really, really, really good album. Banana Shake and No Dab are amazing songs, and Asan Bawi is also a very amazing title track. Chomi released his second mini album, first single album, whatever. What's Your Number? And this is such a different side of Chomi than what he showed in his first mini album, and I'm just really excited that he got a second mini album, and the promotions went pretty well, and he's just really awesome. And there's a photo card in here. Look how cute. I haven't taken this out. I'm gonna put it in my binder later. YESUNG released his first Japanese single, which is so cute. I love it. This is the ELF version, and then I have the CD only version and the CD DVD version. So it's like actually different shapes, which is really nice, instead of everything being a jewel case, which happens sometimes. This is like a magazine, and it's really, really cool. I really like it. And Kyuhyun released his third mini album because he's never gonna stop releasing mini albums in Korea. He's never gonna go to the army. He's just gonna stay here forever and release mini albums for us. And it's gorgeous. I was actually listening to it as I was getting ready to film this video, and it's really, 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 really pretty. If you're looking for a really good solid ballad album to listen to this winter, I would recommend Q's for sure. SUJU's done, the Ultimates are done, but we still have some of the alphabet left to do. Twice released something else because they never sleep, so they released Twicecoaster Lane 1. This is the Magenta version. I don't know why I thought that, but I'm pretty sure it's the Magenta version. This is a really, really solid album from Twice as well. I really like it. Their music is so cute and so upbeat, and I posted on Instagram this like album, and I said that I listened to it a lot during finals week to like keep my mood up, and like, because it's really hard when you're like on 4 hours of sleep to be like, oh my god, I really want to study right now. Like, nobody wants to study normally. Yeah, I listened to this to kind of get me motivated, and it was really, really helpful for that. Then, finishing up the alphabet real fast, I bought two things from UP10TION in the second half of the year. They released a Summer Go album. This is their fourth mini album, and it's a really, really pretty concept. It's just really pretty boys, really pretty concept. Sunul's photo chip is falling out because I never know what to do with these, so I just keep them in the album for a little bit. But yeah, it's really pretty and really blue. Like, this is, I don't know if the light's even doing this justice, but it's a really, really pretty blue. All of my favorite 2015 rookies, their most recent like mini albums have been like my favorite from them. So like 17, Monsta X and UP10TION. So this is Burst. This is their fifth mini album, and it came out pretty recently, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. It's so beautiful. The cover is even like something different if you look at like all of them together. It's just perfect. And then my other favorite rookies of this year were Victon, their Apink's little brother group, and they're adorable. I don't think I've uploaded, oh no, I have uploaded my unboxing, but it's literally just me like fangirling over how much I love them, like how perfect they are, and how pretty this album is. If you've always been like, oh man, Apink stuff is like so pretty, but I'm not really the biggest fan of them, and you're a fan of Victon, Victon stuff is just as pretty as Apink's, but I will always tell you to buy Apink albums because I love Apink. I only showed you part of VIX's trilogy in the first half, but they released the second and third part of their trilogy. This is Hades and this is Kratos, and I do not currently own the fourth like thing that puts them all together, but it's my goal to buy them. I bought a new camera like right now, so I don't really have as much money to be spending on things of that nature. And that is the entire alphabet. Minus Z. I don't have any Z. But yeah, so that is everything. Hopefully you guys enjoy me doing these kinds of videos. If you think that I should keep doing them at the end of like every half year, eventually I will like be living in only one place, and it'll be like weird for me to do this because I always do this like before I go home. For like break. But if you like it and want me to keep doing these mini updates throughout the year, I think they're pretty fun to look back and see like what I bought and how much I bought. But yeah, Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!